Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Press Play. I'm your host, JJ48, and tonight we are returning to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and we should become Jedi today, hopefully. Uh, Last time, you might recall, we had made it off of Taris to Dantooine, to where the Jedi Enclave is, and they told us that, hey, you're going to be a Jedi too, so get started on training. And we started with the first test, which was to be able to recite the Jedi code of there is no emotion, there is peace, there is no uh, death, there is the Force, there is no root beer, there is Dr. Pepper, and all that. So now I believe our next step is we need to speak to Master Dorak and determine what sort of path within the order you wish to follow. So we're going to decide what kind of Jedi we are. But before we do that, I think while I was here listening to the nice relaxing music, I thought it might be a good idea to kind of jump into the Jedi code just a little bit to kind of think about it a bit more. I actually have the actual Jedi code up here. Um, oh, wait a second. Might have it in our inventory. That's usually where things are. Or if not, I just have it pulled up. But because I would like to think about it just a little bit, and as much as it is kind of fun to poke fun at it, I think one thing we need to remember is that this is not. It's not that these are just truths that are observations. Like, yeah, we observed a bunch of things, and uh, these are. This is kind of a summary of what we found out. This is, as far as I can tell, it's very much a worldview. Um, and as such is rather axiomatic to what the Jedi believe and how they view things. So it's not that we've observed a bunch of things and we know this to be true. This is consistent with what we observe, and it's how we interpret what we observe and understand things. So I don't seem to have anything about it in my inventory, but I do have it pulled up here. So the first thing, there is no emotion, there is peace. Now I think it's phrased a little odd, saying there is no emotion. That's because there is emotion. But I think what they're getting at is that you shouldn't be driven by emotion, or a Jedi should not be. That shouldn't be the thing that's defining him or driving him, um, but peace. So instead of anger, instead of fear, instead of even joy, I think and even positive emotions, they're saying a Jedi should be at peace, and that should be what's driving a Jedi to do things. Um, there is no ignorance, there is knowledge. I guess what they're getting at is that even in even in not knowing things, there's a certain kind of knowledge that comes from recognizing that you don't know things. And if you focus, maybe it's better to focus on what you do know rather than focus on what you don't know. Or, no, I guess even if you focus on what you don't know, you're still you're aware that you don't know it. That itself is a kind of knowledge, I guess. So there is no passion. There is serenity. I think thinking about it more, I know this again sounds very similar to the first one, um, but I I guess you can be passionate about things that aren't necessarily emotion. Um, you can be passionate about your hobbies or things like that, and I guess it's saying that, a Jedi shouldn't have those kinds of strong, um, those kinds of strong reactions either. Which kind of makes me wonder a little bit about especially in the prequel trilogy of Star Wars, when we saw the Jedi and the Jedi Council, and how some of them seemed rather passionate for justice, or passionate for democracy, or any of these other things that might be positive things, but wonder if maybe there was something of even some older, more experienced Jedi kind of getting taken the wrong way with some of this. Fourth was, there is no chaos, there is harmony. Okay, so I guess that's just saying that even things that seem like they're disordered, things that seem rather chaotic, there is still some structure, some harmony there, if you even if you can't see it. And there is no death, there is the Force. So kind of the idea of the Jedi, I guess, feel that when a Jedi dies, he just becomes one with the Force. So it's not, in that sense, every Jedi who can touch the Force, can basically in some way be in contact with all the previous Jedi or something. So I don't know if that's exactly what they're getting at, but I think when we look at it that way, it does make a little bit more sense than just, hey, here's 5 random proverbs that may or may not seem to apply very well. So, okay, let's see. Dorak. Dorak, stop targeting Bastila. I want to talk to Dorak. He's the one that...
Ah, you have come, young apprentice, at Master Zar's bidding. He sees great promise in you, as do I. The time has come for you to choose the color of your lightsaber. This color also reflects your demeanor and position within the Order.
Okay. So... We're going to be choosing the color of our lightsaber. And the way they're deciding to do it is that different colors reflect our position and demeanor. So, at least initially, I think we can always choose to change our color later. And so ultimately it's personal preference, but I guess at least which one we set out with is going to do that. So, why do I get set with a single color? I am kind of curious about that.
A Jedi is not restricted to a single color. Rather, that color is a badge of pride for the Jedi path it signifies. Should you have an appropriate crystal, you may change your blade to anything you desire. But first, you should learn of the different paths a Jedi may take. Blue is the color of the Jedi Guardian. This Jedi battles against the forces of evil and the dark side. They focus more on combat training and use of the lightsaber. Yellow is the color of the Jedi Sentinel. This Jedi ferrets out deceit and injustice, bringing it to light. They focus less on combat and more on other skills and abilities. Green is the color of the Jedi Consular. This Jedi seeks to bring balance to the universe. They mediate between other groups, using their powers to end conflict and preserve peace.
Okay, mediating between other groups sounds good. I don't know about that whole bringing balance to the universe thing, because we saw in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, bringing balance isn't necessarily a good thing. So let's see. So, Guardian, Sentinel, or Consular. I'm not sure that this locks us into a choice just now, but we can... think the Sentinel was the one that it described as being rather skillful, using all their skills and things, and that kind of describes what I want. So let's choose Sentinel.
Indeed. We shall see. I will now ask you questions, and your responses will indicate which class you lean most towards. A woman and her small child are beset by a desperate-looking group of thugs. They're menacing her with weapons, and she screams to you for help. What do?
Okay. So let's see, we can help them flee, presumably them being the woman and her child, not the thugs. We can attack the thugs, or we can stop the thugs and find out why they are attacking her. On the one hand, finding out what's going on is good. On the other hand, is that even an option? I mean, of course it's an option. We can choose it, but I mean, is that something that in the spur of the moment we would be like, okay, I know you guys are violently attacking these people, but why don't we talk about why? I'm gonna stop the thugs and find out why they're attacking her. Let's see if we can find a peaceful solution. Then we would help them flee if that's wasn't possible.
Indeed. Very well. On to the next question. You are in combat with a dark Jedi allied with the Sith. There is a pause in the combat. What do?
Okay, we can either attack him again. We're fighting a dark Jedi. Combat's paused. We can either use that opportunity to attack him, or we can strike up a conversation, find out why he turned to the dark side, and try to turn him. Or we can study him to try to see a weakness in his technique. I think we find out why he turned to the dark side and try to turn him. In a way, we actually already did this on Terrace with when we encountered the dark Jedi apprentice, and we're like, "Hey, you don't need to do this."
Yes,
so we'll do
I
that.
suspected as much. Now for the next question. There is a locked door, and your goal lies on the other side. What do?
Okay, do we smash the door down? Do we try to pick the lock, or do we knock? Well, I think given how we've been playing the game so far, be kind of lying if I picked anything other than pick the lock, because that's been our go-to choice every time we've encountered a locked door so far.
I am beginning to see a pattern here, apprentice. I have a feeling about what you would be best at. But first, the final question. You are the head of an enclave on a contested world. The Dark Jedi have infiltrated and are causing unrest across the planet. What do?
Okay, so we can hunt them down, hunt down the Dark Jedi. We can try to lure them into a trap. Or we can coordinate with the planetary government to identify the infiltrators. Well, if it's a contested world, I don't know how much the planetary government's really gonna be able to do, or how much they're gonna want to do. I say the trap option sounds pretty good. Try to draw them out so we can deal with them all at once.
Yes, I thought as much. As I suspected, you would be most suitable as a Jedi Sentinel. Which color and path do you believe yourself most suited to, apprentice?
You already asked me that. Okay, yeah, we'll stick with the Sentinel.
Here is a yellow crystal for your lightsaber. Go speak to Master Jar again, and he will instruct you in how to construct it.
Oh, that's just for my crystal? I should have said blue then, because I would much prefer a blue crystal. Oh well. Okay. Might notice we don't have as many skill points anymore. I think we're actually getting a level in our Jedi class, maybe. Okay, in which case if that actually is what if that is what that is, then I guess it is good that we picked Jedi Sentinel. This means we actually did pick our class. So okay. Let's see. Oh yep, there in the upper right you can see we're now a Jedi Sentinel. Feats. Okay, so we got weapon proficiency, lightsaber. We got Jedi defense, force immunity, fear, Jedi sense, and force sensitive. Okay. What are all of these? Excuse me. So we can use lightsabers now. Good. And one thing in this game, I looked it up, and in this game in particular, lightsabers will automatically, like normally with melee weapons, you really need a lot of strength, and strength is what determines how melee weapons work. In this game, lightsabers will work on strength or dexterity, which kind of makes sense. Lightsabers do seem like they'd be more of a dexterous weapon than a strength-focused weapon. And it also ties into how they've been doing the story so far, that since we're not starting as a Jedi, you have folks like us who have been primarily focused on blasters and putting a lot of dexterity in. As a result, you don't want those people to feel like, oh hey, now that I'm a Jedi, my stats are absolutely useless because I've been going for blasters. So I'm actually not sure how much we'll be using lightsaber. I'm probably still going to stick with a blaster in most situations, but it's good that we have a lightsaber will now be our go-to close-in weapon instead of vibroblade. Okay, so Jedi Defense. This feat allows a character with an equipped lightsaber to deflect blaster bolts at any time. When a character is fired upon, okay, they make a roll against the attack. Okay, so basically, when we're fired upon, we have a chance of deflecting the shot, and if we have a really good roll, not only do we deflect the shot, but we deflect it back at the enemy, and can actually hit them with it. So, okay, so we could improve that to basically get a better advantage on the roll. Okay, Force immunity, fear. Jedi possesses an inner calm that cannot be shaken by mere threats to mind or body. The Force grants understanding, which is a shield that fear cannot breach. Okay, that's just always active, so we're now just immune to fear. And that can increase to immunity to stun and immunity to paralysis. Okay, good. Jedi sense. The Jedi develops a connection to the Force that allows them to better sense incoming attack. This feat grants a +2 defense bonus. Okay. That can increase as we level up. Okay, we still have our dueling, so I think we're still going to want to stick with it. When we do use the lightsaber, we're going to want to stick with a one-handed lightsaber. Then Force sensitive. Jedi training affects each Padawan uniquely, allowing them to grow in ability while addressing personal flaws. On rare occasions, however, exceptional individuals open doors to strengths they did not know they had. This feat represents a heightened connection to the Force previously unseen in a newly trained Jedi. This feat grants 40 additional Force points to the character's base total. Okay, so this just means we have more Force points than usual, and I guess they do this to make it so they can use the same class for us and for NPCs and things, and then just add this feat to us. Give it a nice little lore basis there of why we're getting the feat, but then also give us a bonus that other classes don't have, or other people using this template don't have. Okay, so let's see. I still have to decide what we want to do. We can get some more buffs. We can get the ability to use cybernetics. Actually, looking through here, didn't really focus as much on blaster use as I thought. I thought we'd taken some more like blaster specific feats, but really we got +1 attack with blaster pistols. Maybe I will switch to just primarily using a lightsaber, just for the fun of it. In which case, we're going to want +1 attack bonus with lightsabers. Okay, we'll do this, and then we'll also probably start getting into Jedi defense when we can. But lightsaber first, because that'll... I always do that. I want to hit A to add a feat, but no, you have to add a feat and then press A. Okay, so now we have our powers, and these are ones that basically they use force points they use up force points in order to use them. So I'm gonna probably avoid any dark side powers because we're trying to be good guys. We're not dark side here. So let's see what we have. We have Cure, which heals people up, heals everybody in the party, except for droids. That could be useful. Force Aura, temporarily get a bonus to defense and saving throws. Okay, that's also nice. Burst of Speed. Movement speed is doubled, and you get 2 defense. It's not bad. Oh. Okay, that's not bad in itself, but what's really good is that if we level that up in the future, we still get movement speed doubled and increased defense, but we can actually get extra attacks each round, which could be very useful. Okay, that one's definitely a good possibility there, just so that we'll be able to work on that. Force Valor, increase the physical attributes and saving throws. Okay, so that's going to increase strength and dexterity. Force Resistance. Okay, this offers some protection against other force powers, so useful against Dark Jedi. Energy Resistance. So that's going to be similar to the energy shields that we've already seen. It's just this is going to be using force ability rather than energy components, having specific numbers of charges and things. Okay, Affect Mind. Affect Mind enables persuasive use of the Force. Once a Jedi has this power, extra options will appear in conversations as appropriate. Success is not guaranteed for extreme commands or if the target is strong-willed. This power does not affect droids. Only the main player character can select this power during level up. I'm not sure how much I approve of just using Jedi abilities to affect people's minds, but that is kind of intriguing. Just the fact that it'll be interesting to see what other conversation options will appear. And Dominate Mind will be a way to level that up. Oh, we could get both of them right now. Dominate Mind is more powerful than Affect Mind, and very few beings can resist its effects. I kind of want to do this just so we have some more dialogue options that'll be kind of fun to look through. But let's see what the rest of the powers are as well. Um, Also, it is kind of nice that these are passive abilities. That's just like once you have them, get this effect rather than having to constantly micromanage in the middle of battle. There's nothing worse when you're trying to fight people than having to actually do stuff in order to fight them. Stun. This power allows the Jedi to assault the mind of an opponent, basically stunning them for a few seconds, okay? Stun droid, same thing but for droids. Wound is a dark side ability, just causing direct damage. Slow is a dark side ability, making people more sluggish. Interesting that stunning people completely, immobilizing them, is light side, but making them a little slower is dark side. Fear can cause people to become afraid of you and run away. Shock, force lightning, force push. Okay, that's a universal. Push the target back by a few meters, and then stun them, and cause some damage equal to character level. Okay, it's a decent force attack. Drain life. Okay, that's kind of a like you actually not only do damage to someone but heal yourself in the process, and that's a dark side ability. Force suppression. Cancel force powers active on the target. So the ability that we saw before, I forget what it was, force resistance. This stops people from using force abilities on you. Force suppression is if somebody has used force abilities on themselves to buff themselves, make themselves stronger. This can cancel out some of those. Okay, might be. So I'm not sure if we'll need it right now, but that'll definitely be something we'll want before probably later in the game when we start encountering more characters that use force abilities. That'll be very useful in removing their buffs. And then throw lightsaber. Throw lightsaber allows a character to attack a target at range by throwing a lightsaber, guiding it with the force. The target must be at least 5 meters away. Okay. Once the lightsaber is thrown, it will automatically return to the Jedi's hand at the end of the round. Okay. So yeah, I think for now we'll go with the these force options. Then I think we'll probably be looking at burst of speed, heal, and force suppression will be some good ones early on. Although this force push ends up becoming one that we can throw multiple enemies, so that would be a good one too, just so we have an attack that can hit multiple people. But we'll worry about that when we level up. Okay, our friends are also leveling up, so let's give Zalbar an extra dexterity just to get him to an even number here. Yeah, okay, so that bumps his defense up to 12. It'll be a little bit more. We'll stay alive a little better that way. Oh, that's right. I was thinking we have an extra skill level for Zalbar. I didn't think we've always been getting 3 skill points. It's just that I think either treat injury or awareness was far below the max, so the past few levels we've been putting 2 points into that. Let's see what. I guess we'll give him some points in demolition, even though I don't think he needs it. We're not really using him for any of the secondary abilities. Okay, and he gets implant level 3, so he can use implants, which we still don't have very many of. I think have we encountered any? Okay, we do have one response package implant that gives dexterity +1. Okay, that I guess we can give it to Zalbar just because we nobody else is using it, but it's not really necessary at the moment. Mission's gonna stick with high dexterity. Let's give her master dueling because I think that'll +3 to attack. It's still giving +1 attack versus the other one I was looking at was blaster focus. But this will also give her +1 defense as well. So okay.
Sure.
Sorry, I was very busy leveling up and I forgot what exactly we're supposed to be doing. Okay, return to Master Czar and complete our training. Oh, you can see next to our character portrait on the bottom right there, we now have a full kind of light bluish, whitish bar to the right of our portrait, and that is our force points.
Ah, good. Now that you have selected your crystal, we shall begin the construction of your lightsaber.
Right. Okay, so we don't have any power crystals yet, but we presumably will be getting some at some point and can make our lightsaber more powerful. But okay. Traditionally associated with the Jedi, the lightsaber is a devastating weapon difficult to master. Properties can vary with the type of focusing crystal used in construction. We have a yellow crystal, faceted crystal used in the construction of a lightsaber. It glows faintly with an inner yellow light. Yeah, that's pretty much all we can do at the moment. Creating a lightsaber really isn't as hard as I think it was made out to be. All right. And it is not part of the Jedi code not to run around while holding your lightsaber out, so we are totally free to do that. I just want to see how this compares to using a blaster. This is 2 to 16 damage, plus 14 attack, whereas our upgraded blaster is 5 to 10 damage plus 17 attack. Okay, so it's not quite as good. Well, higher potential damage. Basically have a wider range of damage with the lightsaber. A little bit less to attack. Oh, we have a larger critical range though. This is critical on a 20, whereas this does critical on 19 or 20. So a little bit larger of a damage range, a little bit not quite as likely to hit, which seems odd. You would think swinging a lightsaber, you're bound to hit something. But that'll also improve as we get some more lightsaber feats. And yeah. Oh, does this not count as? This might not count as a one-handed weapon. That might be part of the issue. Well, that can't be the issue because we're still getting the defense bonus. And if we do that, okay, yeah, if we equip a second weapon, then our defense goes down, and our to hit goes way down. So, okay, yeah, we're still, this still counts as a one-handed weapon, even though we sometimes kind of hold it in two-handed batter stance. So
You have done extremely well in constructing your lightsaber, apprentice. Your crystal seems to have been set perfectly. It is rare indeed for that to happen the first time one constructs their lightsaber. These crystals are very rare, found only in certain caves strong in the Force. By adding crystals to your lightsaber, you can alter or enhance its properties. There have even been unconfirmed rumors of certain Force-sensitive caves here on Dantooine that may hold these crystals.
first of all, I was laughing initially because seeing that interface and how there was literally nothing to do with the lightsaber, it's just, hey, here's the lightsaber. Do you want to upgrade it? No, you don't have parts, so just click assemble. I know that's an abstraction of what our character is actually doing, but it's still kind of funny to think of apprentices failing that the first time. But now I'm kind of curious. There's rumors of Force-sensitive caves on Dantooine that may hold Force-sensitive crystals. And we have an enclave of Jedi here, and nobody's gone to investigate these rumors to say like, hey, let's go see if we can find some Force crystals, make our lightsabers more powerful. Seems a little odd to me. So I can find crystals on Dantooine? What will these crystals do for me? Should I know anything else about lightsabers? Let's ask what the crystals do.
They can modify simple things such as the color of your blade, or complex ones such as crystals that reputedly increase the strength of the beam. But you must learn first to use your lightsaber and take care when drawing it. Your lightsaber identifies you as a member of the Jedi Order. With such recognition comes honor and respect, and the attentions of dangerous enemies. The Sith and Dark Jedi will seek to destroy you, apprentice. And you must prove yourself worthy in battle against a foe who also wields a lightsaber. Are you ready to face the final challenge, apprentice?
Okay, I'm ready to face the third trial, or I need more time to prepare myself. I think we're ready. Running with your lightsaber out, is that like running with scissors? Yeah, I think that's pretty much the Jedi equivalent. Probably always having to yell at young Padawans for not being careful like that.
For every Jedi, the threat of the dark side is always present. You must truly understand this before you are accepted into the Order. You must see the corruption of the dark side for yourself. Even here on Dantooine, there are places where the dark side holds sway, twisting and tainting nature itself. The ancient grove, once used for deep meditation by the Jedi, is now tainted. A wave of darkness perverts the region around it. The Kathhounds in the area have become savage and ruthless. They have become a threat to the settlers, a threat the Jedi have promised to stop.
Okay, so what would you have me do, Master Sar? You want me to kill Kathhounds? Or what's causing this corruption? Okay, so interesting. So we can kind of see a little bit of the different elements of the Jedi in here. You know, what would you have me do? Just the kind of dutiful, hey, just tell me my job so I can get to it. You want me to go kill Kathhounds, so just jumping to the, well, these things are causing problems, let's stop them. Or what's causing this corruption? Let's try to investigate what could be the root cause here and see, you know, is there more to it than just what appears to be on the surface. Let's go with that. What's causing the corruption?
The Kathhounds are but a symptom of the true problem.
Called it.
You must journey into the grove and confront the true source of the darkness. That is your task.
Okay. Do you have no other guidance? Or you know more than you're telling me? I mean, of course he knows more than he's telling me. He's master of a religious martial order whose apparently intentionally being somewhat cryptic and vague for the purposes of training. So it's kind of obvious he knows more than he's telling me. But do you have no other guidance?
I can say no more. Some things you must see for yourself. None of the other Jedi at the Academy are permitted to help you in this task. But remember this, my young apprentice. A Jedi acts with patience and care, and those on the dark path are not always lost forever. The dark side still taints the ancient grove. Your lessons cannot continue until the spreading corruption of the dark side has been stopped. This is your task, apprentice. May the Force be with you.
Okay, so is this tainted grove a recent problem that just happened to coincide with me completing my training, or has this been an issue for some time and the masters are like, should we have someone deal with that tainted grove? Nah, at some point we're gonna have an apprentice who needs a final test, and that'll be perfect for him. So yep, just cleanse a meditation grove to the southeast of its dark taint. Okay, or of the dark taint that has been infesting it. Exact nature of the cause of the taint has not been made clear. Okay, so first we need to figure out how to get out of here. Enclave exit, there we go. And as per my Jedi testing, I will try to pick the lock.
Didn't work.
Nope, didn't work, okay. If we head back to where our ship is, maybe we can get out somewhere around here. Aratech Mercantile. This sounds like it's a store, not a way out, but... You guys don't have a way out of the Jedi Enclave here, do you? No? Okay. Kratis Yerkol. You must be the one we've been hearing about. The new recruit, as it were. JJ48, I think they said. Another fresh-faced apprentice ready to leap into Jedi training with both feet. Well, best of luck to you is all I can say about that. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Kratis Yerkol, proprietor of the general store here on Dantooine. Not much to look at now, I'll admit, but I'm in on the ground floor. Once word gets out, we'll have settlers and tourists from the Galactic Corps just dying to come here. And guess who'll be waiting for them? Not that blasted Zerka Corps, that's for sure. Not this time, no sir. This time it'll be Kratis Yerkol who makes the big bucks. But listen to me. You didn't come here to listen to my ramblings on the evils of the Zerka Corp. I'll bet. What can I do for you? Okay, I'd like to see what you have for sale, or what do you have against the Zerka Corporation? I'm trying to think, have we heard about the Zerka Corporation yet? I don't. If so, I think it was just in passing. I don't think we've really heard much about them. Don't get me started on Zerka Corp. They've got a monopoly on half the galaxy already, and they do everything they can to keep anyone else from getting a foothold in their territory. Extortion, bribing officials, and government diplomats. Not to mention driving up prices on essentials like food and water on distant colonies. I've heard stories of them letting people starve to death because they couldn't afford their jacked up prices. And since they've thrown themselves in with the Sith, things have only gotten worse. Worse? How has it gotten worse? Or do you mean the Zerka Corp are allied with the Sith? Maybe we can discuss this some other time. Yeah, I'm not sure how things can get worse than letting people starve because you're just jacking up the prices a lot. Unless they've started actively fighting against people. The Sith are tangled up in an expensive war with the Republic. They need supplies, equipment. There's lots of opportunities for a company with no morals like Circuit Corp to make some major profits. Malik has given them exclusive trading rights wherever the Sith have control. It's bad enough they're helping to finance the Sith war effort, but I've heard rumors of even worse stuff. Slaving, pillaging planets of their resources, genocide of indigenous species. The Sith and Circuit Corp seem like a perfect match to me. Ah, listen to me going on. That does sound pretty bad, sir. I think I'll be going now. Thank you for the warnings about Zerka. Be sure to come back every now and again. I'm always getting more inventory in. You never know what I might have in stock, and my prices are always better than those crooks at Circuit Corp. Actually, that's a good point. I should probably actually check to see what he has. I hear the life of an apprentice can be pretty rough, but you should be proud of what you're doing. It's always good to see another ally in the fight against darkness and corruption. If there were more people like you around, and honest businessmen could make a decent living, and companies like that Zerka Corp wouldn't even exist. But listen to me. Yep, I just want to see what you have for sale, please. Excellent. As always, my selection is somewhat limited. Circuit Corp has a monopoly on some of the suppliers, but I'm sure you'll find all my inventory is of the highest quality, and I've got a few special items you won't find anywhere else. Okay, what do you have? Okay, you have some various armors. I think that's pretty much ones we've already seen. Sanasiki's blade. It's a melee weapon. Does additional ion damage against droids. Has an attack modifier. Sanasiki used this weapon to kill Nalinik, a Zabrak who assassinated the Ichani High Protector with battle droids. Cortosis protects the blade against lightsaber sparring damage while energy cells disrupt droid opponents. Okay. So Sanasiki, some Ichani hero, I guess. Okay, Jurgen Kalta's assault rifle. Does damage with additional damage against droids. Okay. Jurgen Kalta wanted to make a big noise in the galaxy. If it was the screams of his enemies, all the better. This weapon was his favorite because it shared his adaptability. Okay. Stealth field reinforcement. Very powerful item designed to both regulate stealth field emissions and improve the user's perception of the field while in stealth mode. Okay, so this is we've seen the stealth generator before. We can kind of go into solo mode and become invisible. I believe this is the same thing, except that it also gives us +8 stealth. So when you use it, you not only become invisible, but you get a big bonus and harder to detect. Interface band. Kind of looks like what we're wearing right now, but very different bonuses. Damage resistance against Sonic and some increased skills. This item provides a mental interface to a store of information on electronic systems common to security, demolitions, and general computing functions. Might be decent, but I think ours, with the increased saving throws, what we have right now is probably better. Breath Mask, which grants immunity to poison but requires medium armor. This is standard issue gear for Republic forces and most professional soldiers, protecting against a variety of gas-based attacks. Okay, I think we've seen the Aural Amplifier. These gloves are equipped with an advanced artificial intelligence unit that the wearer can use to tap into nearby computer systems through cables or wireless transmission. The system also stabilizes the wearer's hands for fine detail work. Okay, that could actually be quite useful if I don't have better gloves. Let me see what gloves I have. CNS Strength Enhancer. All saving throws +2 and strength +2. An experimental system that amplifies power signals along the length of the central nervous system. This generator, attached to a belt, provides greater impulses to all muscles as well as a resistance to all sorts of perturbations of the user's systems. Okay, that would be probably very useful for Zalbar if we're going to keep traveling with him. Calrissian's utility belt, increase of skills. Galdurin Calrissian's name was something of a liability after he became infamous for running an unsanctioned smuggling ring within Hutt space. Eventually cornered, he had to pawn even his personal items to avoid being the last Calrissian. The user must have paid points into the demolitions and security skills to gain the respective benefits from this belt. Okay, that's another one that might be kind of decent. And of course, the name Calrissian is recognizable from Lando Calrissian in the original Star Wars trilogy, so we have this familial link. And this is a couple thousand years earlier, so we're not going to be getting into Lando's recent history, but we are seeing some similar names, and presumably this Calrissian is one of his ancestors. Okay, a retinal implant. Okay, so can get implants that make us immune to critical hits. Ocular implant greatly increases visual acuity, allowing the user to better track enemy movement in combat. General awareness will improve as well. Adrenal alacrity. Okay, adrenals. Pazat card. Okay, some plus-minus Pazat cards. We might come back and get some of those later. What do I have to sell? Okay, I was going to say I don't need 5 suits of clothing, but they're worth 0, so selling them isn't really doing anything. I hesitate to sell Davik's Warsuit just because it is a named item, a unique item, and if we are traveling with someone who uses medium armor, it would be useful. Let's just keep on selling until we get to Bendax Blaster. Sell till we get to Zalbars. Again, we're not really using the rifles much, so we'll keep our grenades. Don't need another aural amplifier. Not really laying mines much. I can sell all these off. And we're at 6,000, so that's not even quite the 7,000 that we need to get some of the stuff. So okay, but we will probably be back at some point. Carol Carr, are you his business partner or something? I greet you, apprentice Jedi. Master Zar has informed me that your training is progressing most rapidly. I am honored to have such a promising pupil in my shop. How may I serve you? Okay, maybe this is a place that deals in training apprentices. Maybe this guy is the shop owner's apprentice, just like the Jedi are apprentices as well. Because also I know he's not going on and offering dialogue options for how much he hates Zerka or anything like that. Explore my inventory at your convenience. Settler families have purchased all my droids, but I have many upgrades and other wares for purchase. So this is okay. So the other guy was selling general stock. This guy's selling primarily droids and droid-related stuff. Droid heavy plating. Originally used on starship hulls, Durasteel is the best protection available for droids. This particular variant of the alloy is the standard for mass production heavy combat droids. I guess the only thing I'm seeing, like with light, medium, and heavy armor for uh, biological characters, you have different feats required that, like our character and mission. Do we have any other light armor characters? I think that might be it. We can't wear medium armor or heavy armor because we're focused on, we only have the feat for light armor. Karth can wear medium armor, but he can't wear heavy armor. Canderous can wear all the armor because he's heavy. With droids, it seems like it's just, you just need the droid upgrade class feat, and then you can wear any of these. So the only real reason I can see not to get heavy armor, like, it doesn't say there's any penalty or anything. It would just be that it costs more. I want to see what medium armor looked like. It had an interesting thing. Developed by engineer Hoot Kalin, this plating relies more on deflecting angles than exotic alloys. Costs can be prohibitive, though. This is the most affordable model of the type. Okay. Okay. We're not. This would be good if we're traveling with the droid more, but we're not really. We're not traveling with T3 much at the moment, so. Yeah, we can see what the price is. Like, we can afford to spend some money on stuff. We can't at this point really afford to just go wild and just kid out everybody completely. So mission seems rather distant. Let's speak to her.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
Okay, so do you know anything about the planet we're on? Just a general talking option, or want to talk to you about your brother? That's right. We had talked to her about her brother before, and she said he was kind of a touchy subject, but she seems kind of distant, so that means it's a perfect time to bring him up.
I was a little snappish when we last talked. I'm sorry about that. I get a little touchy when it comes to Griff. It's kind of embarrassing telling people about him.
Embarrassing? Why? Or you don't have to tell me anything if you don't want to. I don't have time for this. Let's reassure her. If she doesn't want to talk about it, she doesn't have to talk about it.
No, I want to tell you. Zalbar's a great listener, but it might be nice to talk about this with someone who doesn't reply in growls and grunts. I never knew my parents. My brother always looked out for me. He's the one who brought me here to Tars. I was just a kid, only 5. But I remember the trip, if you could call it that. We were stuffed inside a packing crate in a starfreighter's cargo hold with just enough food and water to make the trip. Not exactly first class, you know.
Salvar's just kind of standing over here, thinking like, you know, to me, your language is the one that sounds like growls and grunts, but... Okay, so... You were stowaways? How could your brother do that to a 5-year-old? I really don't care about your traumatic childhood. I'm trying to remember, we might have already had this discussion, but I might not have had it with this character because, remember, we had to reset when we jumped over to the Switch, so... I apologize if we're going through this again. So how could your brother do that to a 5-year-old? Seems like a pretty reasonable response.
I don't know the whole story. I was pretty young, but my brother owed a lot of money. Might even have been a few arrest warrants out for him, I don't know. The only way to get off the planet was to smuggle ourselves out. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like we were criminals. Well, maybe my brother was. See, this is why I don't like to talk about it. It makes Griff sound worse than he really was. My brother had his problems, but he always looked out for me.
He's family. You have to stick by your family. What kind of problems did your brother have? No, I can applaud that. You know, you recognize your brother's got problems, but you don't want to just throw him under the space bus. So he's family.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Without my brother, I don't know where I'd be. He gambled and drank, and he was always borrowing money for his latest get-rich-quick scheme. But he had a good heart, you know? He taught me how to survive. He showed me how to slice into a computer security system, how to get inside a locked building without the entrance codes, and how to spot a wealthy mark for a quick shell game.
Truly a pillar of the community here. Sounds like he was nothing but a petty criminal. Pretty handy skills to have, Mission. I mean, spotting a wealthy mark for a quick shell game does sound very sketchy, but how to hack into, or slice into computer security and get inside buildings without proper clearance would be rather hypocritical for us to fault him for that. So, yeah, pretty handy skills all around.
Yeah, Griff did right by me. I really miss him since he left. I keep hoping he'll come back someday. He promised me he would.
So why did he leave? Griff doesn't sound like he's big on keeping promises. Let's not bash the guy too much. Why did he leave?
He fell in with a bad crowd. It's all Lena's fault. She's the one who took him from me. Just batted those long lashes at him and off he went.
Who's Lena? What are you talking about? What happened? Let's get back to our mission. Who's Lena?
I don't want to talk about Griff and Lena. Just the thought of that space tramp makes my blood boil. Subject's closed as far as I'm concerned. If I'm gonna be any help to you, I can't be worrying about my brother running off with some intergalactic skank. So is there something else you need?
Do you know anything about Dantooine?
I'm not the one you should ask about Dantooine. I didn't even know there was a Jedi Academy here. I always thought it was just a bunch of settlers and farmers. Sorry I can't be more help, you know. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Never mind.
Okay, have it your way.
So how do we actually get out of the Enclave? There was that one door. None of these look like doors we can actually use. I mean, I have a lightsaber, so we could just make a door anywhere we want, I guess. Maybe that's part of the test. It's a puzzle. And we should just cut our way through one of the walls. Already tried that way. Out this way. These look like just dorm rooms. Just a bed in the middle. What is this? There's not. It doesn't really stick out far enough to really be like a bench or anything. It's not high enough to be a desk or a table. Is this just like a empty shelf? So, is this where you'd like put all your trophies if you had any? And if the Jedi Order gave out trophies? You have the look of a seasoned Pazak player about you. I dabble in it from time to time. Care for a game? As somebody who enjoys card games and board games myself, I can confirm this is exactly the response you'd get if you just broke into a gamer's house or room. Uh, Not who are you, not hey, get out. It just like, oh hey, somebody walked in. Up for a game? So who are you? I'm Sola, and to put it perfectly blunt, my business is my own. I do offer you, though, the company of my time for a game or two of Pizak. Yep, not really looking for a Pizak game at the moment. Thanks. Not right now. I can't even open up your footlocker. Okay. Can open up this footlocker. Alan Matal.
Why are you bothering me? I'm here to speak with the council, not some servant. Please leave, or I shall be forced to tell the council of your rude behavior.
Okay, let's... Okay, so how do we get out of here? Okay, no, there's not an exit. Oh, you know what it probably is? This is the correct door, it's just instead of trying to open the door, we probably need to talk to this droid by it. It's like the Jedi doorman here.
The council has decreed you may come and go as you please.
Okay. You didn't think to speak up when I was trying to get out the door earlier and you saw me actually actively trying to slice the security on it? It's kind of a lovely view. I can't really tell what kind of the background is there, if that's meant to be like fields of grain, you know, if it's like a plain as far as we can see to the mountains, or if that's meant to be like an ocean. Is that a beach down there? The sun being right in our eyes doesn't really help matters. So yeah, very, very different feeling from being on Taurus, where we were pretty much in the city the entire time, except when we were underneath the city and couldn't see the sky. And then here we have the Jedi Enclave and just wide open land. A couple settlers. Some Jedi. Mission, are you dissing again? Okay.
Hey there, what can I do for you?
Let's talk about your brother some more.
I'm sorry for the way I acted before. It's just that when it comes to Lena, I tend to get a little worked up.
Okay, why do you hate her so much? What did she do to you? I don't have time for this. Yeah, why do you hate her so much?
My brother and me had a good thing going. Sure, Griff had his run-ins with the law on Terrace, but we got by okay, until Lena came and ruined everything. She was a dancer at the cantina where my brother used to go play Pazik. Griff could be a real smooth talker, and it wasn't long before the two of them were dating. But Lena was used to dating rich Teresian nobles, guys with mountains of credits. Griff could never give her the lifestyle she was used to, no matter how hard he worked.
You mean no matter how much he stole? Or did Lena dump him? I don't have time for this. Yeah, it's... do we want to just point out that Griff's work involved stealing stuff, or further ask about Lena? Let's try not to rile Mission up too much. So, did Lena dump him?
I thought Lena would brush Griff off when she saw how poor he was, but for some reason, she stuck around. I guess she saw the potential for a big payday down the road.
Sounds like you're jealous. Or maybe she actually liked Griff. Or, so what happened? Yeah, maybe she didn't dump him because she realized, like, hey, this is actually found someone I like, and that's better than just going after rich people.
I saw Lena for what she really was. A busty, credit-grubbing cantina rat. She used Griff and took away the only family I had. After they'd been together for a few months, Griff told me he was leaving Terrace. He and Lena were gonna try and make their fortune off-world. He promised as soon as he made enough credits he'd come back and get me, and we'd all live like royalty. That was 2 years ago. I haven't seen him since. I don't even know where he went.
Well, it does take a while to make enough credits to live like royalty, so, maybe just give him some time. Although, it's going to be kind of hard if he's expecting to find you on Terrace now that Terrace has been kind of very heavily, if not completely destroyed, just devastated, at least by the Sith. So, not to bring up bad memories or anything. But how is this Lena's fault? Maybe something happened to him. Sounds like he deserted you. Yeah, how does this all tie back to Lena?
Oh, I know what happened. As soon as she got him off Taurus, Lena sunk her claws into Griff butt good. She twisted him around her little finger and made him forget all about me. I know I'll probably never see Griff again. But part of the reason I came with you was the hope that I could find out what happened to my brother. Don't worry. I won't let the search for Griff get in the way of what we're doing. Let's just get back to the task at hand. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Nothing else at the moment. Never mind.
Okay, have it your way.
Okay, so we're learning a bit more about mission. We have a named guy here, Nemo.
It is good sometimes to stop and reflect on the beauty of nature and the Force. I am sorry. I tend to get carried away. I do not believe we have met, apprentice. My name is Nemo. Is there something I can help you with?
See, I've been given a task by the Council. I have a question about Dantooine, or I would like to know about you. Let's ask if he knows anything about what the Council told us.
Indeed. What is it you would like from me?
What do you know of the Tainted Grove? Or, never mind. Yeah, do you know anything about this grove we're supposed to visit?
The Council has told you nothing of the Grove?
No, they've not. Or I know it is tainted by the dark side. Well, we do know that much.
Do not be so quick to judge circumstances about which you are ignorant. Not everything may be as transparent as you would believe. The Grove can be found to the south and east in the plains, but be wary of kath-hounds. They may be agitated by the power in the Grove. Is there something else I can help you with?
Okay, what do you know about Dantooine?
Very well. What is it you wish to know?
Where can I find a store? Master Czar said there are caves on Dantooine with lightsaber crystals. Well, we know where the store is, so let's ask about caves with crystals.
Ah, yes, those caves. Those caves are dangerous for the unwary. Kinreth spiders infest the places. They are attracted by the colors and heat given off by the crystals, I think. It is a pity. Those caves are strong with the Force. Is there something else I can help you with?
Let's ask about you. Who are you?
About me? I am truly flattered. What is it you wish to know?
Who are you? What do you do here? What kind of name is Nemo, anyway? Let's ask who he is.
As I have said, I believe, my name is Nemo. I am here by the will of the Jedi Council.
You're a Jedi?
Indeed, my young friend, that I am. I have served the Council for many years, and have seen many apprentices pass through this enclave.
Are you a member of the Council?
I think perhaps you place an undue importance on rank and hierarchy. Understandable, but regrettable also. We each serve in our place, high or low. Is there something else I can help you with?
So, in other words, no, I'm not on the Council. Got it. Okay, I should be going now. Thank you.
I hope your time is well spent here on Dantooine.
We have Gar and Rilka.
Greetings, friend. I think I can safely assume you are a member of the Jedi Order. Has the Council agreed to hear our petition?
I'm merely an apprentice, not a Jedi. Or, yeah, they're waiting for you now. I'm sorry, I do not know. Let's be honest. Yeah, we're an apprentice, not a Jedi.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was mistaken. Does the Council require our presence?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Oh, I see. I am mistaken. How may I be of assistance?
Who are you?
My name is Gar. Me and my fine wife, Rilke, here,
A pleasure.
live on one of the northern farms. But the cat hounds and the Mandalorian problem has been getting really bad of late, and we're here to ask the Jedi Council to help.
Interesting. Cath hounds were also mentioned around the grove that we need to take care of. So what is this about cath hounds on your farm?
Recently, the cat hounds have been acting much more aggressively. They've even attacked some of the settlers. Those Mandalorian raiders have been milking the outlying farms dry, too. I hear John got hit really bad. Too bad about his daughter. I'm not sure exactly what the council will do about it, but we need some help with this. I only hope they'll listen to me. Is there anything else you require?
Mandalorians here? Or what can you tell me about Dantooine? Let's ask about these Mandalorians.
Ever since the Republic beat them years ago, little groups have been roaming all over the place. With the Sith invasion, the Republic doesn't have the manpower to hunt them down. The Jedi are even worse off because Malik has been hunting them specifically. They're worried that he might even be supporting these raiders, so don't want to face them directly. That puts us in a kind of hard situation. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Okay, what can you tell me about Dantooine just in general?
Well, as you can see, Dantooine is mostly plains and grassland, but it has a nice hearty soil. A lot of new people have come in the last generation or so. Well, the ones you'll most likely hear about are the Sandrils and the Matalis. Big, wealthy landowners, both of them. But Alan Matali and Nurik Sandril just can't seem to get along. And now Alan wants to get the council to do something.
Ah, Alan, if I recall, he was the one that we saw inside, so I guess the people inside in those rooms, those aren't Jedi, those are people who've come to visit, to talk to the Jedi. Okay. Do something. Has something happened? I would like to ask you something else, or gotta be going. No. Okay, what's happened that Alan wants to talk to the council?
Well, from what I hear, it started about a week ago. See, Nurik's son, Cassis, is an archaeologist. Bright lad, too, but he disappeared. Nurik, of course, blamed Alan, but even he didn't take it before the council. But now, Alan's son, Shen, has disappeared as well, and no one knows where he's gone. Alan blames Nurik. He thinks he's kidnapped his son. I don't know exactly what he wants to ask the council, but from what I know of Alan, he's probably going to be after blood. Is there anything else you require?
Okay, I think that's everything. Thank you. Thank you for your time. It's some more stuff to think about.
Farewell, then. May the Force be with you. Is that how it goes? Yes. May the Force be with you.
Yeah, and you as well. Jedi.
Are you a Jedi? How long can you people continue to sit by and claim you protect us? Protectors? Ha! You sit in your enclave safe from the Mandalorians while we suffer.
Now, in fairness, I don't think I have ever claimed to protect anybody, so it's a little bit of a false accusation there. So what are you talking about? We are Jedi. What we decide is always right. Yeah, by definition, if a Jedi decides to do something, then it is right by virtue of the fact that a Jedi decided to do it. Great way of reasoning. Mandalorians, they were all beaten in the last war. What are you talking about? Yeah, let's go with that.
Those Mandalorian brutes have killed my daughter. They came to our land demanding our livelihood. But Ilsa, my Ilsa, said no.
They killed her? Only an idiot says no when they have a gun in their face. You didn't try to stop them? That seems like an absolutely horrible thing to say to somebody who just lost a daughter. Actually, both of the bottom two. Yeah, so they killed her. That's probably not the best thing to say either, but it's the least accusatory of them.
There was nothing I could do. Too many of the Mandalorians and their Duros allies. I've come here to ask you, please, Master Jedi, stop these raiders and get revenge for my daughter.
I'm not a Jedi yet. Or maybe you could make it worth my while. I will protect you and your fellow settlers. Or those animals, I'll kill them for what they did to your daughter. Or your problems are not my concern. Well, let's be honest, first of all. We're not quite a Jedi just yet.
But you have been accepted into the Order. Yours is the authority of the Jedi. I will give you all I have. Just please, annihilate them from the face of this planet.
I can't promise total annihilation. That seems a little bit against the Jedi way of doing things. I will try to look into it and deal with it as best I can, however. Knee? Or knee? Sir, can I ask you about your name? No. It's... yes, you are a Jedi. I am grateful that your people harbor me in my times of need. What happened to you? Or you might give something back. I must be going now. Yeah, what happened to you? What time of need are you talking about? I'm a victim, a refuge. Yes, I fled from my world once the Sith fleet come. They scour the continents, boil the oceans. Sith are bad, yes. But I run here, find the Jedi already here, unknown. They take me in, one left in a billion. Yes. The Republic fights, but does not win. Not you to blame, of course. No, the Sith are strong and destroy those who would oppose them, yes. What thanks you have. In your order, is there anything else you require? Man, sometimes the pacing on the dialogue is pretty good. Other times it's way off, either cutting before you even have a chance to finish reading, or else staying on long after done reading. So, it's not really our place to demand that he help out the Jedi. I guess we could suggest it. Yeah, you could give something back. After my flight, all I have left to give is my thanks, which your order gladly has. Okay. I should be going now. Yes, Jedi always have more to attend to. Good day, friend Jedi. It's interesting. Usually named characters, a lot of them will have a lot of dialogue options or even quests to give us. It's interesting that some of them are just, I mean, maybe he'll become more important in a future quest or something, but for now it's just, hey, I'm here and I'm letting you know that the Jedi help refugees out sometimes as well. Elise. Next to a speeder. A speeder with 2 tuning forks on the front. Looks like just a 2-passenger. I wonder how easy or how difficult it is to talk to each other when you're in an open cockpit like that. Kind of separated. They're not completely separated, but there is a little bit of a gap between you. And I'm guessing this thing can go pretty fast. There's another guy over there. Sorry, Elise, didn't mean to just start coming up and talking about your speeder without even introducing myself. Hi, who are you? I'm JJ48.
Greetings, young Jedi. I wonder if you could assist me. I seem to have lost my companion, you see?
Your companion? Who are you? I'm sorry, I have no time for this. seem to have a little bit of a twitch there. Your companion.
We were working on my farm to the north of here. I was working in the garden outside, and he was working inside. I heard the door to the house open, but not close. I went to see and found it wide open. I searched everywhere and could not find him. I worry so much. I need him back so badly. I wonder if he... Could he have been kidnapped?
It is possible. Could it have been Kathhounds? Does anyone hold a grudge against him? Let's ask if it could have been Kathhounds. It seems like Kathhounds and Mandalorians are to blame for everything around these parts.
Kathhounds are not intelligent enough to open doors. Although they have been more vicious lately. No. It must have been someone who could open the door by himself. Come to think of it, the door was locked.
Did someone break it down? Could someone have bypassed the lock? Could it have been opened from the inside? Yeah, was it open from the inside? It seems kind of the direction we're going here.
Well, yes, it could have, but he had no reason to run away. His programming...
Oh. Your missing companion is a droid? A droid? You expect me to run off to find some stupid droid? Let's go with a droid with full interrobang here.
Well, yes, he is a droid, but he is very valuable to me all the same. He's the last piece of my poor passed-away husband that I have left. He is very dear to me, my precious is. I don't know what I'd do without him. He's the only companionship I have on all of Dantooine.
Precious. Seems kind of an ominous thing. Maybe it's just my Tolkien bias here, but referring to something as precious is always a bit of a warning sign. You'll live alone with this droid? What exactly did you use him for again? Not sure I want to ask that. You live alone with them?
He is a personal assistance droid. My husband was a genius at constructing droids. He made this one capable of taking care of me for the rest of my life. As the last legacy of my husband, for my own personal ease of mind, I need him back. His absence gnaws at me like a gaping wound. Please, I beg of you, return my droid to me.
I will help you find your droid. Or if I happen to see him, I will send him back to you. I'm not interested. We can help look for him, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you, Master Jedi. If you find him, please send him home to me. I need him so much.
Okay, I think you need to find some other form of closure, personally. I think it seems an unhealthy fixation. But let's see, Adam LARP. See, this looks more like what I would expect from a two-seater console in the middle, but having the windscreen kind of go up above both of them, feel like you're more one compartment. Greetings, fellow sentient. I noticed that you are not heavily armed, or at least not heavily armed enough. Please allow myself to introduce myself. I am Adam, a simple merchant with a much noble purpose. Purpose? Noble, are you? I really don't think I have time for this. No, I'm kind of curious. What purpose? What is that on the ridge behind us? Is that one of the Kathhounds? It's kind of lionish. Sorry, Adam. Didn't mean to interrupt. We'll probably get to see that eventually. So, what is this noble purpose of yours? Yes, purpose. Settlers and noble humans of Dantooine have been plagued by Kathhounds, raiders, and other fearsome troubles of late. It is much, much too sad to see these things happen to such people as this. Therefore, I have made this my mission to be. Your mission? Or you're trying to sell me something, aren't you? I really don't think I have time for this. Yeah, what's your mission? And no, not mission, the companion who's following me around, but this noble goal of yours. To overcome their troubles, they must be able to defend themselves. Therefore, I shall offer the highest of quality of weapons at the lowest of low of prices for them. I am here offering you much in the way of weaponry at low prices. How can any sentient pass up such a bargain? They cannot. Weaponry it is, and weaponry I have. What is it you would like from me this fine day? So, I just realized something. As we're talking to this guy, the English dialogue is, the saying some stuff, and clearly it's meant to indicate that he's not speaking his primary language. He's using words kind of in the wrong order, or overemphasizing things. And, it's very much like just how you expect a non-native of a language to speak. What I find interesting, though, is he's not actually speaking. I think Basic is the language of kind of the English equivalent language. So he's speaking some alien language, which makes me wonder if it's a problem of translation. Are we, when we understand his language, but we don't, this is how we're understanding it, that we don't understand it perfectly? Or is he speaking this other language imperfectly because it's not his native language? And I'm trying to think of what I honestly don't know much about a lot of the Star Wars languages. I know there's a lot of stuff to know, but I don't haven't really made that a field of study. I was always more interested in the technology, even that imperfectly. But I wonder if maybe he might be speaking Huttese or something, because I think Huttese I know is used a lot in a lot of the games here, because the Hutts have massive influence, and their language is used quite a few places, I think. I don't know, but I don't know what language Rhodians speak natively. This guy's a Rhodian, but it could be that he's speaking Huttese or some other language that's not his native language. He's speaking that imperfectly, and then we, as somebody who understands that language, we are, the English transliteration here is showing that we understand that he's giving his sales pitch imperfectly. And I just never really thought about the fact that he's speaking a different language, but still the English text shows it as he's making all these flaws of a non-native speaker. Okay, so let's see. We can ask him what he's selling. Do you happen to have any maps of the area? I'd like to. Well, maps would be useful. Do you have any maps? Maps? Why, yes, I have. What areas would you like a map to? I'm afraid I do not have all areas of maps, though. I would like a map of this area. I would like a map to the area south of here. Okay, let's ask for those two. I'd like a map of this area. Maps for little, maps for cheap. Only 2 credits for this fine map. I'll take it. Is there anything else you would like? Let's ask for a map to the area of the south. I would like a map to the area south of here. Only 2 credits for this fine map. Yes. Here then is that map I have. Is there anything else you would like? Let's see what you're selling. Here's the best you can find anywhere on this world. Okay, Sinagar Warsuit. After the Great Hyperspace War 1,000 years ago, the heirs of Empress Teta militarized their world and industry, a legacy that produced battle armor still sought after today. Cassis Fett's battle armor. Might recognize Fett as Boba Fett in the original series was a Fett, and Jango Fett in the prequels. It was not only was he a Fett, but he was also he was the original source of the DNA for the clone army, which I guess in a way means that the entire Republic clone army was made of Fetts. So the armor of Cassis Fett, the most wanted man in known space, famous for killing the captain of a flagship Republic frigate at the Battle of Jaga's cluster, he is presumed dead. Okay, lots of resistances for heavy armor. So we can't anywhere close to afford that, but that looks like very good heavy armor if we needed heavy armor. Okay, Bronzium Light Battle Armor. This molded armor is made of better materials than standard military issue, but is still relatively cheap and easy to mass produce, making it ideal for light militias and the like. Okay, we have then all the standard stuff. So, okay, don't need anything at the moment, Adam, but appreciate the business, the maps. Okay, here we have Cathhounds. We are finally going to test out our lightsaber. Let's just use a normal attack. Okay, so far not terribly impressed with the lightsaber. Oh, that's what it is, look. The sun was in my eyes. Of course we weren't gonna do super well. Let's look at our map. So this is the path south, or strange ruins. Ooh, let's go see what the strange ruins are. Horn Cathet. So I think, especially these larger Cathhounds, unless I'm misremembering, they kind of look like one of the beasts in the second of the prequel trilogy, Attack of the Clones, when Anakin and Padme and Obi-Wan were kind of in the gladiator arena thing. I thought one of the creatures that they were fighting looked kind of like these. I wonder if have to look it up if it's actually related, but I mean, a bit larger, of course. None of these are large enough to be the same creature. Maybe some different breed or something. have any remains that we can? Well, I'm kind of wishing I had gotten force heal now because Zalbar is wounded. So let's see, Zalbar, why don't you heal yourself up a bit? Oh man, advanced med packs only do that much. Okay, well keep on going, buddy. There you go.
Yes?
Now, on the one hand, the lightsaber doesn't seem to be, it's not the overpowered weapon of we're just cutting through these guys left and right. On the other hand, if we were using a blaster, we would only have so much time to engage with them before they'd be on top of us, and we'd be fighting them in melee. And then we'd have to either switch weapons or take penalties anyway. Okay, this is... It's interesting, these blocks, they all have opening facing this way. Mostly unadorned. Are they... Okay, looking at the one that's kind of just to our left, maybe it's just me, but that doesn't look like it's quite rectangular. Like it looks like it tapers in a little bit towards the top. But I can't tell if that's... I can't tell if it's actually doing that or if it's just like being at an angle is kind of making me think that's what it's doing. Strange ruins. Okay, we have a cutscene here. This heavy stone door is sealed. The door is too thick to be cut through with the lightsaber.
No problem. Didn't work.
Okay. So we can't get in at the moment. Love the flying manta rays. Don't know how feasible that would actually be, especially considering how large they are. But it's kind of a cool thing, as long as they don't swoop down and attack us. So we'll go back here. I guess the ruins we'll probably be able to access later. For now, let's head to the south. Matali grounds. Okay. So these are the grounds of the guy that was... his son has disappeared, and so he wants the Jedi to go after the rival clan because he thinks the rival clan did something. But who are these guys over here? Mandalorians! Missions out. Duros. Farmer. Hey, Mandalorian, why are you talking to that farmer?
You've been holding out on us again. If you haven't given us enough money, I guess we're gonna have to take it out of you piece by piece.
No, please. Take my wife and children instead. Anything.
Wife and children. Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, as much as I can sympathize with blasting somebody who offers you his wife and children, in the hopes of sparing himself, I don't think I can let you actually go after the wife and children. So, sorry, but we've got to come to blows here. I like that one of the Duros is fighting and the other two are just kind of chatting in the back there. Oh, maybe should we help that Mandalorian? Nah, not worth it. Oh, now they want to get involved. What's this equipment pack? Okay, just some regular computer spikes, med packs, that kind of thing. And a blaster carbine from the Mandalorian. Okay, okay, so that was Elise and her companion. Mandalorian Raiders. Okay, this is the update it was talking about. You have encountered some of the Mandalorian Raiders plaguing Dantooine and slain them. They did not seem as organized or as powerful as you had been led to believe. Perhaps you've not met their most powerful members. Okay, yeah, I wasn't really thinking that this small group was all the Mandalorians. Because I'm pretty sure if this was all there was, then even farmers with like no formal military training could probably use blasters enough to band together and take them on. Okay, so this goes to the Grove. Thought we got a map of area south here. I guess we didn't get I guess it wasn't much, or it was a different area or something. Let's go to the Grove and then we'll head the other way after I heal up a bit. I could just return to the ship and rather than using up our med packs, I guess. Okay, we have Cath Hounds. Oh, this we got. This we have a map too. So the Ancient Grove is over there. We have a path north, and we have two paths south. And we have another path north that we just came on. Okay, well, I guess we need to go over and deal with the Grove. So we'll do that first. First, we'll take care of these guys. Okay, so I was dealing with this one, and in that entire time, you guys took out all the rest, and then even helped me with the one. Okay, yeah, I'm not doing a very good job as Jedi at the moment. I do realize I should probably make sure to save my game. And then, okay, I forget I can return to the Ebon Hawk to heal.
Mission, is that you? It's me, Lena, remember? I was dating your brother back on Terrace.
Lena? What are you doing here? Where's Griff?
I'm just passing through. Griff and I broke up a few months after we left Terrace together. Probably for the best. Your brother can be charming, Mission, but he's bad news.
Don't you start trashing my brother, you cantina rat. Take that back or I'll smack you so hard your head tails will pop off.
Mission, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting this way?
You took her brother away and left her all alone on Taurus. Her mission gets a little worked up when it comes to her brother. No, I think I'm with Mission on this one. You took her brother away and left her all alone on Taurus. I mean, should have at least taken her with you or something.
You've got your facts a little backwards. Mission could have come with us if she wanted to. It was her choice to stay behind.
You liar! Griff told me that you didn't want his little sister tagging along. That's why he had to leave me behind.
Is that what the Hut Spawn told you? I wanted you to come with us, Mission. I even offered to pay for your ticket. Why not? I paid for everything else while I was with that freeloader. But he told me you didn't want to leave Terrace. I said we shouldn't even go then. But he said we'd come back and get you after we struck it rich on Tatooine. Just another one of his lies.
No, you're the one who's lying. Griff wouldn't... He wouldn't try to leave me behind.
I'm beginning to dislike Griff a little more, I think. So why should we believe you, Lena? Or maybe he thought you were better off on Taurus, Mission. Maybe your brother isn't the man you thought he was. I think, first of all, yeah, how do we know that... I'm not even sure why... If Lena's telling the truth, then her approaching Mission when seeing her makes sense, because, you know, she... if she's telling the truth, then she actually, you know, did care about and was trying to look out for Mission and would be greeting her just as a friend. If she's lying, then she wouldn't be approaching us unless she had some kind of angle or something. She wouldn't be approaching Mission unless she had. Either way, yeah, kind of need to know who we can trust here before we decide anything's happening. Why should we believe you?
Think about it. If Griff wasn't trying to ditch you, Mission, then why didn't he tell you where we were going? After we left Terrace, he told me looking after you was holding him back. Griff's always looking to blame other people for his own problems. That's why he abandoned you. He did the same thing to me, too. As soon as I ran out of money, he started blaming me for all of his problems. Like it's my fault his get-rich-quick schemes never work out.
Okay. Sounds like you're better off without him. I'd like to hear Griff's side of things before I judge him. Oh, so where's Griff now? That is good. I would like to hear Griff's side of things before I judge him, because this does sound very bad, but at the same time, you know, you never want to just say, like, okay, well, the first story I hear, that's obviously the one that's correct. You want to hear both sides, and then maybe, yeah, the first one you heard might still end up being correct in the one you go with, but it's important to hear all sides first, so... Yeah, I'd like to hear Griff's side first.
Hey, if you want to talk to Griff, go ahead. Last I heard, he was going to make a fortune working the Zerka Corp mines on Tatooine. But as far as I'm concerned, he's out of my life forever.
Griff's better off without you anyway, you table-dancing, brother-stealing home wrecker.
I guess that's my cue to leave then. I didn't mean to upset you, Mission. But one day you'll see I'm right about your brother. I only hope it's not too late by then.
It's kind of an odd coincidence that you just happen to be passing through on a place full of Jedi and farmers, but... although, Mission, I do think you might want to face the facts that Griff might not be quite as great a brother as you were, as you've thought. I don't want to condemn him without hearing the facts, but I just think you might want to at least be open to that possibility. Zalbar, you got anything to say on the matter? Do you know anything about the planet we're on? I wonder if you could help me with a problem. I want to know a little bit more about you, Zalbar. What problem do I think Zalbar could help me with? I wonder if you could help me with a problem. Unless you want someone threatened or a door bashed in, you should ask someone else. Okay. Probably before we leave this planet, I'll go through all the companions and make sure to ask about them. But we'll talk later. I will ask you what planet, if you know anything about Dantooine, though. I know that it isn't my home world. That is all I care about. There is nothing here to interest me. Okay. We'll talk later. Not that the conversation hasn't been thoroughly stimulating, but... Baluk. And who is Baluk, and why is he on this bridge? Apprentice, your arrival here is well timed. Okay, who are you, or what do you want? Start with the who. Who are you? I am Baluk, a Jedi from the Enclave. I was sent by the Jedi Council to investigate a killing that took place here a few hours ago. Oh. Communication does not pose a problem, as both the suspects and I speak Basic and Huttese. I was going to handle this case myself, but now that you are here, this could be an excellent opportunity for you to demonstrate how well you have been learning your lessons at the Academy. Teach crime scene investigation at the Academy? Though you are not yet a full Jedi, perhaps you could assist me in sorting out the truth from the lies. Okay, what do you want me to do? We're sorry, I don't have time for this. No, what do you want me to do? Well, this sounds useful. Listen to the stories given by the two suspects. I have brought an information retrieval droid with access to the archives, both at the Jedi Enclave and the planetary capital. I will use my wisdom and experience to offer you some guidance, but I will not solve the case for you. There is little benefit if you do not solve the problem yourself. Consider each man's account and check the facts with the information droid. Once you have gathered all the evidence you think you need, run through the possible scenario with me. If you're unable to come to a satisfactory resolution, then I will take these men to the Enclave and deal with this myself. Okay. According to the accounts of the participants, these three men were out here in the field together earlier, before the clouds broke. I find that very odd, for most people would seek shelter indoors when the sky is filled with dark storm clouds, as it was earlier today. But that is not the most puzzling aspect of the case. The dead man, Calder Nedic, was shot in the back with the blaster rifle. The rifle was found lying near his body with bloodstains on it. It has been sent back to the Enclave for analysis. 2 other men were found at the scene when I arrived. One was Hand on Gold. He was unarmed. The other was Rickard Lusoff, who was carrying a hunting laser. Both men say they did not do anything and that they came across the body, but both also accuse the other. Obviously, there is more to this than what we have been told. Okay. Is there anything else I should know? Or should I begin the investigation at once? Anything else? There is one last thing. When I arrived, Handon was holding his side and Rickard was favoring one of his legs. You would do well to remember this as we progress through the case. If there is anything else you need, I will remain here while you question the witnesses. Okay, so we have 2 men and we have information droid. Let me see the dead body. Can we examine it? Caldernetic. The body of Caldernetic. He was apparently shot from behind with a blaster. No, sorry, I'm not trying to leave. If you do, I will have no choice but to tell the Jedi Council that you lack the wisdom to solve this case. I just wanted to investigate the crime scene. Okay, so Rickard or... Let's talk to Handon first.
Ah, greetings. You must be assisting Master Baluk in his investigation. I'm Handon Gould. Perhaps you've heard of me?
No. Should I have? Or can lie. Ah, yes, of course, Mr. Gould. No, I have not.
Well, I presume you wish to hear my story, then. I shall tell you, of course, but there's not much to it. I'm sure that you'll agree that Rickard is quite obviously guilty of murder. You see, I was out here running earlier today. Yes, running. I do that a lot. Can't stand speeders, never use them. Keeps me in shape, too, you know. Anyway, I was out running on the other side of that bridge there, and all of a sudden I heard a shot coming from over here. I ran over and found this man Calder lying on the ground, dead.
Did you see the killer? Or go on? Yeah, did you see anybody around?
I saw Rickard come skulking out of the shadows of the rocks south of the river. I knew something was wrong. I hit my emergency button and called the Enclave right away. Well, there. That's my story. Now, please hurry this up and arrest Rickard so I can get on with my day.
I'm not sure how your story proves that Rickard was the one who shot him. Let's see. Rickard, what's your story?
Another Jedi, huh? Helping that Twi'lek investigate, no doubt. He seems stumped. I'm Rickard Lusoff. Maybe you can figure this out and let me get out of here.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Well, I was out hunting Iriaz when I spotted one over here by the bridge. I pull out my rifle and aim at it. I couldn't see it that well, mind you, because the damn sun was in my eyes. So I shoot it and it drops. I walk over here and find Handon standing over Calder's body. So why don't you get this whole farce over with and send that whiner Handon to the prison he belongs in?
Okay. So let's see. So Handon claims that he was running along, came across the body, and then saw Rickard kind of skulking nearby. Rickard claims that he shot, I'm assuming one of these flying things, saw it fall, and when he came over here, Handon was near the body. Okay.
Greetings, apprentice. You must be the one Master Baluk has enlisted to help him with this problem. I am an information retrieval droid. I can assist you by accessing the records of both the Jedi Enclave and the central government facilities here on Dantooine. If you have any need of my services, please do not hesitate to talk to me. I have already retrieved some information from the archives on Caldernetic, Rickard Lusoff, and Handon Gould. I have also had time to examine the body of Mr. Netic. Is there any information you require?
Okay, what did you find out about the body? Tell me about these planes. Or I'll have more questions later. Yep, I did a very basic examination of the body, but I'm sure you can come up with more. What did you find?
My preliminary analysis of the body indicates that he was killed approximately 3 hours ago by a single energy blast to the torso. Is there any other information you need?
Okay, what about these planes?
These plains are rife with wild animals, not all of them benign. The Iriars are mostly docile, but can easily be provoked to violence. Calf hounds, on the other hand, are much more deadly. There have been over 35 catalogued attacks on settlers by calf hounds in the last 2 weeks. A general advisory was given out 3 days ago to carry a weapon at all times when on the plains. Small farms and holdings dot the plains and can provide safe refuge for those in need. Is there any other information you need?
I'll have more questions later.
Very well. I will be...
Let's see. Now that... I mean, it's suspicious that both guys accused the other, and not only claim that the other guy was that they saw the other guy near it, but are certain that the other guy did it. The only information I think we really get from the droid is there was an advisory that because of the Cath Hounds, everybody's supposed to be carrying weapons if they can. And I forget which one, but one of these guys we were told did not have a blaster on him. I think it was Handon. Let's see, we have Murd Settler. Okay, let's talk to Baluk, see if we can do anything more here. Is there something I can do to help you in this investigation? I want to discuss the murder. Very well, we should start at the beginning. If we find the truth behind each piece of the puzzle, we will no doubt resolve the case. A reasonable approach. Hendon said that he was nearby and heard a shot and ran over, only to find Calder already dead. He said Rickard came out of the shadow of the rocks holding a blaster in his hands. Rickard said that he was hunting Irias, saw one through the glare of the sun and shot at it. It is possible that Rickard may have shot Calder accidentally and Handon may have found the body. That seems a very unlikely explanation. It is more likely that at least one of them is lying. Obviously, one of these men is not telling us something, but where does the truth lie? So we have to actually accuse someone. Handon is lying, Rickard is lying, or I don't know. Let's see. One thing occurs to me. We were told at the beginning of this that there was a storm coming. Wasn't that here? And if there was a storm coming and if it was all overcast, then I'm not sure how the sun could have been in his eyes. I just want to... I don't want to look up the answers, I just need to look up who was who. Okay, so Rickard, I think, is lying because I don't think the sun could have been in his eyes. I'm not sure if that proves he's the murderer, but he's definitely not telling the truth here. Oh, why do you believe that? There are no Irias for him to hunt here. Or it was cloudy, there was no sun glare. He was being rude to me. Someone being rude to you is good grounds for accusing them of being a liar. Now this is fictional real life, not fictional internet forums. So actually, I reconsider. Now, it was cloudy. There was no sun glare. Yes, well done. It was very cloudy this morning. If it had happened as Rickard said, the sun would not have been visible at the time of the killing. You seem to have caught Rickard in a bit of a lie. It seems I was correct in assuming you could help me with this case. This lie doesn't prove Rickard is guilty, but I think you have taken the first step in unraveling this mystery. We should proceed on to the next point. We need to find a motive for the killing. Maybe you should talk to the men about their relationship with the victim. If there's anything else you need, I will remain here while you question the witnesses. Okay. So, Rickard, you were not entirely honest with us before, were you, buddy?
So, what do you want to know?
Okay, did you know the victim? Why were you out here? Why would someone want to kill him? Or Baluk said you were limping. Are you hurt? Okay, did you know the victim?
Yeah, I knew him. Hell, we've known each other for a good long time. Doesn't mean I really have to have liked the slime ball. Maybe I shouldn't be so hard on him. Especially now that he's dead. We actually got along pretty well most of the time. We just had our differences. We were actually business partners. We were involved in some orbit-to-ground transport operations for Aerotech. Can I leave now? I should probably be the one to give the news to his wife.
So I want to ask something else.
What do you want to know?
Why were you out here?
I told you already, didn't I? Was hunting some Irias. Haven't seen many in the area recently, what with those cat hounds acting up. But they're still around. Was in my blind a little south of here when I spotted one, like I said before. I shot, and pow, went down. But when I come over here, there's Handon standing over the body and the Irias was gone. Now, I don't have nothing to do with this, so can I go now?
Okay, I want to ask something else. Why would someone want to kill him? If you knew him pretty well, you might have known. Do you have any enemies, or...?
You Jedi are so predictable. Always seeing some greater purpose behind everything, when the simple answer is usually the right one. Can't you see that it must have been Handon? I found him standing over the damned body. I don't know why this is causing you so much trouble. You almost seem as lost as this Baluk guy. So,
Okay, what about your limp? Are you hurt? And I don't think I didn't notice that you completely dodged the question of why someone would want to kill him.
Well, kind of sprained my ankle running through the bush before I found the body, but it's nothing that serious.
Okay, that's all for now.
Right.
And no, you can't go. I need to check with Handon and the droid and see how things are progressing.
How can I be of further assistance?
Did you know the victim? Why would anyone want to kill him out here? Why were you out here? You're holding your side. Are you injured? Did you know the victim?
I knew him a little bit, but I was not any sort of great friend to him or anything. I never really associated with him that much. In truth, I didn't really want to. He had a reputation. Very inconsiderate of family, I heard. But merely having heard unkind things about someone wouldn't make me want to kill him.
No one says you killed him, yet. I want to ask you something else. And no one says you killed him yet.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a bit agitated. Why must we remain here? Can't you see that Rickard must have shot him? How can I be of further assistance?
Why were you out here?
I was taking my daily constitutional. I just happened to be running by when I heard a shot. I ran over and found Calder's body lying there.
Do you often run around the plains?
Yes, quite often. I generally prefer running to anything else. Can't stand speeders. A healthy body will breed a healthy mind, as I always say.
You're holding your side. Are you injured?
Injured? No, of course not. Why would I have been? Fit as a bathtub. I run. I don't know if I mentioned it.
That seems odd, because I think it's been established that you're injured.
How can I be for...
Not sure why you're lying about that. Why would someone want to kill him?
Well, you see, Calder was involved in some pretty sordid business from time to time. More often than not, I've heard. Disreputable business practices, even more disreputable clients. I've even heard he had dealings with a hut here on Dantooine. Now, I bet you're wondering if I had any reasons to kill the man, but I tell you, I hardly knew him. I saw him once or twice, yes, and I've heard some pretty unkind things about him, but certainly nothing that would make me want to kill him.
Okay, yep. Yeah, no one says you killed him yet.
I'm getting a bit...
That's all for now.
Of course, of course. Listen, if you need anything, I shall be glad to assist.
Okay, I'm not sure why you're lying about your wound, although you're definitely not acting like you're wounded. I guess we just have the dialogue options to indicate that.
Is there any other information you need?
Can you tell me about Calder and Handon?
The Southwood Speeder rental business has records that over the past 7 weeks, a speeder had been rented by Mr. Nettick and Mr. Gold. Is there any other information you need?
About Calder and Rickard.
According to the municipal authorities near the Garrow spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity in a cantina attached to the port. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusoff was making accusations at a Mr. C. Nettick about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Tuka was dispatched to the scene and restored order. Is there any other information you need?
It's about the body again and the planes. Okay.
Very well. I will be here to assist.
Handon. So, I was told that you and the deceased there have been renting speeders when you say you can't stand speeders and barely know the deceased.
How can I be of further assistance?
Oh, I can actually confront him with that information. Good. You knew Calder better than you admit. You rented a speeder with him.
But I realize this must seem like a motive to you, but I assure you it isn't. I dislike Calder, true. I would punch his face in given the opportunity, but I would not kill him.
Punch his face in? Why? You better come clean. I want the truth now. Why would you punch his face in? Also, his dead body's over there, so, I mean, if you really wanted to, you actually do have the opportunity.
My wife was cheating on me with him. I slept in my own bed while I was in the next room. But, as much as I may hate him for that, I could not kill him. It may have been my own fault for driving my wife away. I must try not to take the law into my own hands. I was just out running, trying to clear my head for the divorce proceedings, not stalking him to kill him. Running is not a crime.
Okay,
How can I be of further assistance?
anything else we can ask? You wanted to kill Calder for having an affair. Nothing
Of course.
more right now. I don't think we're ready to accuse him just yet. Rickard, can you tell us more about this disorderly business?
What do you want to...
You thought Calder was cheating you.
Now, I don't love Calder, but we go back a long way. We run a suborbital shipping and transport company out of Durang Spaceport. We've been partners in that business for well over 20 years, and we've been doing just fine the way we are.
You can deny it, but there was bad blood between you. I want to ask you something else, or that's all for now. Yeah, it did sound like there was some bad blood.
Right.
Let's see, I'm not... I want to hear again what the,
Is there any other...
was between Calder and Rickard.
According to the municipal authorities near the Garrow spaceport, there had been news of violent drunken activity. Apparently, a Mr. R. Lusoff was making accusations at a Mr. C. Nettick about cheating him in a business deal. Jedi Tuka was dispatched to the scene and restored order. Is there any other information you need?
Okay, so yeah, that does seem to...
Very well.
So he thought that there was some business shenanigans going on, and he's upset because there's an affair going on. Yes, is there something I can do to help you in this investigation? Okay, I want to discuss the murder. We know Rickard lied about the sun blinding him while he was shooting, but we need more to go on. Let's examine the relationship of each man with the victim. Brandon told me he barely knew the victim. On the other hand, Rickard and the victim were business partners. However, according to Rickard, they got along quite well. On the surface, neither man seems to have a motive for killing Calder. Handon is lying, Rickard is lying, or I'm stumped. I mean, they're both lying, but let's start with Handon. Why do you believe that? He knew his wife was cheating on him. He was probably stalking him, or actually I reconsidered it. He knew his wife was cheating on him, so let's... Well, that certainly is a motive for murder. The case is taking shape. However, you mustn't jump to any quick conclusions. Perhaps we should now focus on the murder weapon itself. I want to see what information the witnesses and the information droid can provide you about the blaster found near the body. Okay. That is something to consider. If the weapon found near the body is the murder weapon, then that would seem to exonerate Rickard, who was, who I think told still had his rifle, and if there was blood on the weapon, it seems like that would have to be from a very close shot, not from far away.
Is there any other information you need?
Okay, tell me about the weapon.
We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample, other than the fact it did not belong to KotOR. Is there any other information?
Okay, so the weapon is not Calder's. That's all the droid can tell us.
Very well. I will be here to...
Okay, Rickard.
So, what do you want to know?
What about the weapon?
That blaster? Never seen it before. Calder himself had a preference for Echani weaponry. He had this one really nice light blaster rifle that he always used. Always wished I could get myself a rifle like the one he had. That blaster ain't it, though. Calder only had the one rifle, too, so he either must have borrowed that, or it's someone else's.
Okay. I don't think there's anything else to ask at the moment.
So, what do you want to know?
Okay, those are all just the ones we've already
Right.
asked. Handon.
How can I be of further assistance?
What do you know about the weapon found by the body?
That blaster was stolen from my house last week. I never knew what happened to it. I hardly have enough money to afford a single blaster, let alone another. I can't tell you how important it is to have a weapon on hand with all these ravenous calf hounds around. Even an Iriaz can take a man down if it gets in the mood. Every settler has a weapon. It's our most prized possession. I would most appreciate it if I could have that back after you determine that Rickard is the killer. How can I be of further assistance? Of course, of course. Listen, if you need anything, I shall be glad to...
Either Calder stole the weapon and had it out here, or Handon brought it out. Or I guess it's possible that Rickard might have stolen the weapon and used it if he was trying to implicate Handon. Let's talk things over with Master Baluk here. I want to discuss the murder. So what have you determined about the weapon found by the body? The blaster is Handon's, but he reported it stolen. The blaster didn't belong to the victim. Yeah, Handon says that it was stolen. So the blaster could be linked to anyone. I'm afraid that is not very helpful. Maybe this case is too complicated for you to solve. You've done well, but maybe this is beyond your training. Perhaps it would be best if I returned to the Enclave and handled this myself, unless you wish to continue your investigations. Let me get more information on the blaster. Okay, what more information could there be?
How can I be of further... Injured? Of course, of course.
Is there any other info?
Oh, here we go. Is there a report of Handon's blaster being stolen?
I am sorry, but I seem to be failing you. I have searched and searched, but I cannot seem to come up with anything at all. I thought to find the record of the missing weapon report Mr. Gould filed with the authorities, but there does not seem to be one. Is there any...
Oh, okay. There we go. That's...
Very well.
That's pretty bad. Handon, we can't find a report of that weapon being stolen.
How can I be of further... Of course.
Okay, that will... The blaster is Handon's, but he lied about it being stolen. Yeah. So, we've caught Handon in a lie. Interesting, but I think we may need one final piece of the puzzle. There was a blood sample on the weapon that had been sent back for analysis just before you arrived. Perhaps you could inquire with the information droid about it. If there's anything else you need, I will remain here while you question the witnesses. Okay, yeah, let's ask about the blood.
Is there any other information you need? I have just received back an analysis of a sample of the blood found on the weapon. It had been sent back to the Enclave just before you arrived. The blood on the weapon is definitely not KotOR's. Unfortunately, there was a bacterial contaminant in the sample that had been taken back to the laboratory, and it had become degraded. We cannot get any more specific analysis from that sample other than the fact it did not belong to KotOR. Is there any other information you need?
That is conveniently logic puzzly type information. We can't get anything definitive out of this other than it's definitely not KotOR's, and you can use that to puzzle out the rest.
Very well.
Okay. So both of these guys have injuries, but I'm kind of leaning towards Handon here because Rickard's ankle, like that, he said he twisted his ankle or something. That's not something you're going to get blood from, whereas he seems to have a wound in his side. Blood could have gotten on his rifle from. How about it, Handon? Anything to say?
How can I be of further assistance?
He's also lying about his injury.
Of course.
Whereas Rickard was rather upfront with his injury. That's not really proof, but it is kind of suspicious. I assume the blood on the weapon belongs to the victim, but I want to be thorough. What have you learned about the blood on the weapon? It didn't belong to the victim. That is surprising. So the blood must belong to one of the suspects. But which one? I think it's Handon's blood. Why do you believe that? I don't trust him. Or he is clutching his side. Yeah, just not trusting him isn't enough. Let's see, he's clutching his side. That seems to be... Handon has been moving oddly since I arrived. Perhaps we should examine him a little more closely.
Hey, what are you doing?
There's blood. Handon appears to have suffered some sort of blaster wound to his side. It would seem there is one logical scenario. Handon killed KotOR for having an affair with his wife. Rickard was out hunting and accidentally shot Handon after he had killed KotOR. I agree. Or no, Rickard is the guilty one, or no, they are both guilty. I mean, if they were both guilty, that would be some pretty cool one-upsmanship against the trained Jedi investigator. But not sure we have any evidence that Rickard is also guilty. Unless... I don't know what an Irian is. I'm wondering on these planes, especially if the sun couldn't have been in his eyes, is it even feasible that Rickard accidentally shot a person thinking it was one of the creatures he was going? I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try declaring them both guilty, and if worst case scenario, they'll be taken back to the Jedi Enclave, and the masters there can sort it out. So, no, they're both guilty. A bold conclusion, one most people would not arrive at. But we are not like most people. We are Jedi. Still, I would like to know how you came to this conclusion. We know KotOR was having an affair with Handon's wife, but what possible motive could Rickard have for wanting KotOR dead? He was also having an affair with Handon's wife. Rickard thought KotOR was cheating him in business, or he wanted to rob KotOR. I just have a hunch. We know that Rickard thought KotOR was cheating him in business. And I think this does kind of go back to the one option there where we were telling him about the motive. Remember, we only had a chance to tell him about one motive, and then it kind of progressed from there. So I'm assuming that whichever one we told the motive on, that would be the one that he'd come down on. Okay, so Rickard thought KotOR was cheating him in business. Yes, well done. Both men had a reason to want KotOR dead. This is my theory of this morning's events. Both men knew KotOR would be out here this morning, and each plotted to kill him. Handon found him first and shot him because of the affair KotOR was having with his wife. Shortly after, Rickard arrived on the scene. From a distance, he saw Handon and thought it was KotOR, so he shot him in retaliation for the credits KotOR had cheated him out of in their business. Handon would have dropped his blaster, the one we found at the scene covered in blood. He probably thought Rickard was going to kill him, so he called us, hoping he could convince us it was Rickard. Seems pretty reasonable.
Damn you. Damn both of you.
That is enough. The culpability of both of you in the murder and attempted murder of KotOR Netic is evident. Additionally, Rickard Lusov can be charged with aggravated assault and attempted murder of Handon Gould. I place you both under the arrest of the Jedi Order and will escort you to holding facilities in the Jedi Enclave. You have done well here. It is obvious you have been studying your lessons carefully. I will be sure to inform the Jedi Council of your performance in this little test. Good day, and may the Force be with you. Okay. Kind of a fun little side story. So I think you see that a bit in these kinds of games. You can have various types of puzzles in games, of course, but I think these kind of like logic word puzzles, I've seen them in a few games like this. I've seen them here. I think I've seen them in Neverwinter Nights and other these kinds of RPGs, just because it's very with the kind of multiple choice text options. It's easy to have information for the player to be able to help kind of lead them in the right direction, while at the same time giving them stuff to figure out. How many cat hounds are there? Cat hounds all over the place.
You'll never get.
Mission. You are using a ranged weapon. You do not just charge directly into the enemy's face. What, you plan to just pistol whip the giant ferocious beast to death? Well, leave the melee to myself and Zalbar. Remains and Juhani.
I will be your doom!
Okay, I was going to ask if you knew anything about the corruption in this grove, but I think we've already answered that, so I guess let's do this. Player debilitated. That's not fair. Debilitate me. Ow. Question of whether I'm good enough at lightsaber combat to pull this off. It seems to be doing more damaging her more than she's damaging me, so. It hasn't really landed a solid blow on this. This is the first one I was stunned. Ow. Don't attack Zalbar.
You are strong. Stronger than me, even in my darkness.
Okay, the music's kind of loud here. Might need to look at turning that down, but can't do it while we're in dialogue, so. Okay, who are you? What are you doing here? Or why did you attack me? Let's start with why did you attack me? We just walked up and all of a sudden you're swinging a lightsaber at us.
I am Juhani, and this is my grove. This is the place of my dark power. This is the place you have invaded. When I embraced the dark side, this is where I sought my solace. It is mine.
Oh. I saw the rock formation behind my character and momentarily thought that you had manifested some massive pompadour or something. You embraced the dark side? Why? You were a Jedi then? You've been corrupting the Cath Hounds? And now I'll take it from you. Meaning the Grove. So you embraced the dark side? Why?
When I slew my master, KotOR, I knew I could never go back. And now I revel in my dark power. Power enough to crush the life from someone such as you. Or so I had thought.
The dark side is never powerful enough. And I laugh at your pathetic attempt. You slew KotOR, your master? Or you shall be the one I crush! That would not be a worrying option at all. No, what's this about you slaying your master?
Yes. I struck her down in the middle of training, consumed by my anger, embracing the power of hate. But it was not enough. What is it you want? Why do you bother me?
I was sent by the council to cleanse the taint from this grove. I just want to talk. Why are you doing this? I've decided to slay you and remove the taint. I will leave you now. I was sent by the council to cleanse the taint from this grove.
The council has sent you here to kill me. Why then, when you bested me so easily, did you not simply finish your task? Is it not apparent that I can never be saved?
Can try to persuade. I have no desire to kill you, Juhani. You're right, maybe I should. I do not hold anger towards you, Juhani. I wish you peace. I wasn't really ordered to kill you. And I don't really have any desire to kill you. Let me see if I can persuade you of that.
You do not? I am pathetic. I sit here and think myself to be great by embracing the dark side, but I am nothing. There is no way I could be turned back. I always thought they held me back, or jealous of my power. This is only because I was not good enough to meet their standards. I never have been.
Persuade. Come now, Juhani. You're a beautiful young woman who has much talent. Not really sure what that has to do with what we're talking about. Why are you even thinking like that? Maybe you shouldn't have been a Jedi then. Standards cannot apply to everyone. Yeah, I don't know what the beauty has to do with it, but probably have plenty of talent, sure. No, I think it's better to... Why are you even thinking like that? Why is that what you're focused on?
Why? Because I am right. That's why. I can see the truth in your eyes as well. Do not look at me again. What is...
Sent by the council. I desire to kill you. Let's try to persuade her again. Maybe that's what we need to do.
I thank you for your kind words, Jack. I seem to still have much to learn, both about being a Jedi and about myself. But I wish the cost of my ignorance had not been so high. I wish that my master had not suffered because of me.
It's not your fault, Juhani. Even in death, the Force will allow her to live on. Correction, there is no death, there is the Force. That's what we Jedi say. Life is a learning experience. Your master knew the risks. Life is suffering. I suppose there is no hope. I must kill you then. Man, we could go a lot of different ways with this conversation. It's not your fault, Juhani. Even though I have absolutely no idea what happened, I'm going to assume that just trying to persuade you out of this frame of mind is going to eventually be helpful.
I only wish things could have been different. If she were alive now, there would be so much I would say to her. So much I would apologize for. How can the council ever take me back with what I have done? Striking my master down in anger is unforgivable.
Oh, don't worry, Juhani. They will surely take you back. I mean, who among us hasn't killed our master in anger at some point or another? It happens to everybody. They'd have to be hypocrites to reject you over something like that. So we could say, surely they'll take you back. Or anger, show them you have freed yourself of this base passion. The council may forgive a lot. Or, your master surely won't be forgiving you. So many ways we could just make the situation far, far worse. Or, yet forgiveness must be asked. Let's see. Let's try to say, yeah, if you can overcome your anger, then that'll be quite a big bit of evidence to them.
If I show them I am free of passion, that I am serene, that I am willing to forsake the dark side, then maybe, just maybe, they would accept me back. Do you think they would? Could it be possible after what I've done?
Of course it would. They would always accept you back. It might be. Unlikely, but it's worth a shot. Your inner peace and harmony will show them your sincerity. I do not know. If you can't bring yourself back, then I must slay you. Let's go all Jedi mystical. Your inner peace and harmony will show them your sincerity. That seems convincing.
I thank you, Master Jedi. I will return to the Council then. I shall submit myself to their judgment and hope they will forgive me. Again, I thank you. I am sure I will hear great things about you in the future.
Okay, good. Mandalorian melee shield. Okay, some med pack and upgrade. What's the Mandalorian melee shield? Okay, just protects against bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Using this item consumes one charge. Okay. Mandalorians don't fear melee combat, but anything that absorbs physical damage brings them a step closer to victory, and these forearm shields are a favorite. The units are discarded once their maximum activations have been expended. I don't really need that. Okay, I was gonna check the sound options. Let's turn the music down a bit. Let's turn the voiceover up because it's mostly what we're concerned with. Movie we'll keep up because those we want to be able to hear what's going on, and I think the music is just part of that. Sound effects are good there. Okay. Turn the music down too much, or is it just a quiet portion? Okay, there's Mandalorians over there, just to go fight them. Okay, now I can still hear some music. Credits, some adrenals, and Mandalorian data pad. Okay, we're gonna want to check that out. See what's we can get from that. Grenades, Mandalorian data pad, Mandalorian melee shield, Iriadu strength amplifier, Vibro double blade. Okay, so instead of strength +1, we can give Salbar strength +2. This device uses microbursts of repulsor lift energy to assist actions in combat, giving the appearance that the user is stronger than normal.
Huh?
What?
Oh, so we just wanted to check, should be... Okay, Mandalorian datapad. Oh, they're different ones. This is one thing I don't like, that they will use the same name for data pads, even though they're like different. We can see there's different contents. So let's start with this one. Jarg, did you remember not to take the XT model bike out today? There was something funny with one of the intakes, and I thought it could jam. Consider yourself lucky. If someone was dumb enough to take that thing out, he would have plowed right into the ground within a kilometer. Okay, Jarg went missing in Sector B when Risa saw someone moving south of there. Take a couple of troops and find out who it is. If they look suspicious, terminate. Oh, then Risa saw someone. Okay, so... Let's try this path south. Well, actually, let's go back up north, because we were in that one territory, and we hadn't finished exploring up there. Now that we've done the grove, let's head back up north, and we'll head south once we get done with that. We'll probably need to be calling it a night soon. Lots of Cath hounds. So is this... Okay, no, that's a corner. It almost looked like a little passage around to the right, and I was thinking, oh, maybe there's something hidden there, but according to the mini-map, it's just a corner. And you can see lots of Cath hounds. I'm going to just try to ignore them unless they come after us. For now, I mean, we'll get to them eventually, I'm sure, but... Courtyard. Wait, is this... Is this the main map that we came from? Okay, yeah, it's called the Courtyard, I guess, because it ultimately links back to the Courtyard, even though out here isn't the Courtyard. But I just refer to the whole map as Courtyard. Alright. Let's try to go this way. Okay, this guy's attacking us, we're gonna have to fight him. Okay, there's a building over here. Okay, so we're in Matali grounds, so I'm guessing this is the Matali estate. Alright, but we only have a couple minutes left, and I'm guessing, given what we've been told about the story so far with the Matalis and it seems like there's a bit of a story there. So I'm not sure if we want to get started just yet. So I think this will be a good place to call it quits. And next week we'll check out the Matali estate and see what's going on here. Make sure I save here. And speaking of next week, I do want to just mention briefly, I plan to stream next week. However, I don't know if I'll be quite on time. I have some meetings next week that'll be they're with some people on the West Coast, so they're scheduled to go until 7 Eastern time, which is right when we start. So if they're not supposed to go all the way to 7, might get out earlier, in which case I'll start on time. If they go to 7, though, it'll take me a couple minutes to shift over and get things set up. But if that happens, I'll get on Twitch and post something in the text saying, hey, it'll be a couple minutes to start up. That applies to both Monday stream and Friday. Still having them, but just might be a little bit late. And if they are, I'll let you know on the Twitch stream. So, with that, thank you for joining me, and have a good weekend, and see you next time.